So, the spoilers are out for My Hero Academia Manga Chapter 422, and let's just say that these spoilers are putting a smile on my face, and hopefully it'll put a smile on your face too, and you'll get to see why, but first, right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to cover the spoilers for My Hero Academia Manga Chapter 422. And I'm not going to say what the title of this chapter is, I'm going to save that for the ending, but let's just say that the title is very fitting for what we're going to be getting in this chapter. And just to go over what happened last chapter, pretty much we're getting a little bit of setup, a little bit of action, and Deku about to go into the fight with All For One. And from what we're seeing in the spoilers, we're going to get just that, but with a lot of interactions with the other heroes. So let's dive into the actual spoilers and see what's going to be going on in this chapter. And to start off, the chapter begins with Aoyama falling behind because All For One's tentacles destroy a piece of the ground, but he tells Deku to keep running. Aizawa tries asking Shirokumo to open another portal, but realizes that he no longer has any strength left to use his quirk. The heroes keep attacking, including Mawata Fuwa, the second-year girl, but the attacks don't work on All For One. Aizawa tells them all to clear a path for Deku to reach Shigaraki, and at the same time, All For One prepares to use the full release of all quirk factors. All For One says that it will be different from the time he used the attack against Bakugo, because now he no longer is overcome by emotions. He's going to condense all his power and release it. He shoots a laser at Deku, but Hagakure reflects it. Momo builds a railgun, and Kaminari charges it with his electricity to fire it at All For One, but he blocks it. All For One launches more black tentacles, and Deku is about to punch them away with One For All, but several other students destroy them and tell him to not waste his energy yet. The students here are Sato, Zero, Gora, Ojiro, Shishida, Shinozaki, and Haribara. Shoji holds Deku with one of his arms and Tsuyu with her tongue. Tsuyu's family and the girls Shoji saved in the past are watching the broadcast and see them fighting. The two of them throw Deku forward, and he finally manages to call Tsuyu Suchan. And just with this part of the text spoilers, you can kind of get a feel for what this chapter is going to be. It's going to be an accumulation and effort of all of the heroes coming together to try and get Deku close to All For One to land multiple massive hits, because from what they're seeing and what they're doing, they aren't having an effect on him. And what is very cool about this moment is that we're getting to see the characters more or less use some of their more well-known attacks or using their quirks in ways that are beneficial but not necessarily in direct combat, such as with Kaminari and Momo, and seeing Sato as well as the other heroes chiming in and fighting, and even the realization of Deku finally calling Froppy Tsuyu, something that he's had trouble the entire series doing, and really just showing how much Deku has gotten closer to his fellow classmates. So it's cool that we're able to see this, and we're going to see a little bit more of it in the next and the following parts of the text spoilers. And speaking about the following parts of the text spoilers, we have Kirishima and Ashiro block a big attack with their friends from middle school watching and shouting their names. All For One doesn't understand why these heroes who can barely move won't die. He then remembers what he said about Deku in the Vestiges and him being useless. All For One finally understands Deku's weakness is something that All Might didn't have, and that's what makes his friends get up over and over again. Gento makes him a trampoline. Death Arm says that he can do it. Tokoyami wishes him good luck from Ganga, and Ida takes his hand. All For One tries to use another attack, but the hole in his hand starts to bleed and he gets confused. We see the US pilots tending to All Might's wounds, and he says that seeing Deku running that day was what allowed him to do the same. It was at that moment that Deku became Melissa wishes Deku good luck. And the next panel we see Rhodey and Pino doing the same. Ida tells Deku that he now understands what Uraraka meant on their first day at UA about the nickname Deku, meaning making her think of do your best. And this is where, once again, as I said, what we could have expected to be happening with the next part of the text spoilers. We're seeing all of the other heroes chiming in, fighting against All For One, helping Deku get closer to All For One, but also getting to see how they are influenced by the people around them, such as Ashido, as well as Hiroshima and their friendship, as well as just tying back to the beginning of the story and how it is very much connecting to the now, with Deku and his interaction with All Might in the first chapter, as well as Deku's interactions with Uraraka a few chapters after that, and really just showing how Deku is very similar to All Might, but the one thing that separates him from All Might is also what is helping everyone else want to push him forward and to quote-unquote do his best. And I will elaborate more of this in the actual review proper, but we're seeing that this is something that Horikoshi has been building up to for most of, if not the entire series, especially with what we get at the last part of the text spoilers, which could really bring a tear to my eye, and is the main reasoning why I am smiling ear to ear. So, we have the final part of the text spoilers, where Ochako is in the helicopter with Pixie Bob as she opens her eyes and whispers, "You can do it." The US president orders all of their heroes to be sent to Japan, and we see panels of different characters saying, "Do your best," Eri, Kota, Tsukachi, etc. All Might raises his arm and sees an image of Deku running towards the sky. He then continues, "On that day, you became my greatest hero." The last spread shows Inko cheering on her son, while Deku lands a punch on All For One. Chapter 422, Izuku Midoriya Rising. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm very giddy about this. This is great. I love this. Not only is this a Izuku Midoriya Rising chapter, which, just as a reminder, we never got a Rising chapter for Izuku. We got his origins, but not his Rising. But the fact that All Might says that Deku is his greatest hero, as soon as I saw that, I just started smiling. I'm just happy ear to ear. Whatever people say, emotionally speaking, this is my favorite chapter so far this year. I have felt emotions for all of these chapters prior, but this is the one that is making me smile the most when I'm reacting to the spoilers, and I'm probably going to be smiling more when I'm actually doing the review of this chapter. But, alright, recomposing myself, let's talk about what we really went through. For the most part, this is just a lot of action in this chapter, most likely from what we're getting, but just a lot of action with a lot of emotional merit to it, with the characters showing their connection with Deku as well as other characters outside of the actual battleground, and just showing that this is a monumental chapter for Deku, and just really showing how Deku being himself has connected to all of these characters and how it has built him up and pushed him forward. And I'll once again talk a little bit more about this in the review proper, but yeah, this is going to be part of one of the core themes of My Hero Academia, and really just establishing why Deku is probably one of my favorite main characters in shonen, really. I don't typically lean towards the main characters of shonen series, but Deku may be the one that I am just, at least when it comes to the male characters, the one that I attach myself to most. But yeah, overall, from what we're seeing with the spoilers, this is going to be a very emotional, very fun chapter. I can't wait to read it properly, and hopefully you can't wait to read it properly too. But yeah, that's all I have to say for the chapter. What do you think of the chapter? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And are you feeling as emotional about just the spoilers as I am right now? Leave your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you in my next video. Goodbye!